Greetings, Atomizer here, and with this scout loadout, Babyface's Blaster, Ringer, and Atomizer. My choice for the worst scout loadout, and here comes the reasons. So, as always, I will go through the weapons one at a time, and a bit about why they don't really work that well together as a full loadout. So, my primary here is the Babyface's Blaster. We start off slower than a regular scout, although not as slow as it used to be when the weapon was new, but the weapon was actually better back then. There are some reasons. Well, when I come to the downsides, what I will consider the main downside was not relevant back then. It's added later. Back on the, I think it's the same time that the starting speed was up a little bit. But yeah, you start off slower, but you deal damage, fill up your boost meter, and you'll end up at the fastest scout on the server. And being fast is real nice. You are not faster than a speeding bullet though, but yeah, you're going to be as fast as you can reasonably expect someone to be in this game. So if you were faster than speeding bullets, you would not be able to accomplish really anything but run into walls all the time and never hit any targets unless you actually stop completely still. And yeah, there they are. No, oh, there are some enemies in distance. Run forward! Oh, I ran past them. I'm now in. I must turn around, and oops, now I'm dead because I ran into a sentry, and sentries never miss. Yeah. There are things like being too fast, but yeah. With this massive speed, there comes a small downside from the upside. It's that actually timing your shots can be slightly more difficult than it usually would be at playing as a scout. But yeah, let's get to the proper downsides. So, the first one, reduce clip size. Just like the backscatter, you will have 4 shots compared to 6 of the stock. And just like the backscatter, you will reload each of them individually. You need to make sure those shots count, and yeah, having less shots than the stock is, well, obviously you prefer to have as many shots as possible before you need to reload. But all weapons need to have some downside to make up for the upsides. So that's that. But let's also get to the other downsides, namely the ways you can lose your boost. Apart from dying, obviously, because dying will set your boost to 0. First one, air jumping, or just double jumping, or triple jumping. Basically, while you can do single jumps just fine, double jumping, say goodbye to your boost. It used to be that you couldn't jump at all, but yeah, being able to make single jumps, that's at least a nice thing. But it's that if you're used to double jumping all the time, well, that's going to be a problem when you accidentally double jump and lose your boost. But the thing about the jumping, you have full control over it. So, and as I said, sometimes hitting people while moving at full speed can be a bit tricky, so sometimes actually double jumping into a fight may reduce your speed enough to make it easy for you to hit. One solid niche up will completely actually fill your boost meter, so you're then running at full speed again. So no double jumping sometimes a downside, but it's also a tool to control your speed when you want to. Problem is the second way you can lose your boost, and that's the one that was added. By just taking damage, and it's not really that much damage that is required either. Take a little bit of damage and say goodbye to a really large chunk of your boost. Or that is even about by the fact that you don't really need to deal that much damage to get the boost in the first place. Even someone that is as bad as playing scout as me can do it fairly easily. So it's even up. But really, the most important thing about here is, yeah, you don't have full control over it. And well, it's maybe not really that big of a deal during a fight. For all you, if you're going to, if you take a little bit of damage, but then immediately follow up making a big meat shot at the enemy and killing him, well, you have full boost anyway. So the fact that you briefly lost your boost is maybe not really a big problem. But if you want to get out of the fight, let's say you actually need to reload, and so you run away to reload, or you simply need to disengage because there are too many enemies there. You after all, you can't deal with the entire team all by yourself, especially not if they're all together. And you take a little bit of damage, you lose your boost, and then you have a much easier time actually catching you and killing you. Your chances of getting away will be severely reduced. That's not really a good thing. And really, main problem, you don't have any control over when you're getting hit, or if you are getting hit. The only thing you can do is try to reduce the chances as much as possible, but instead it's up to the enemies. Can they aim? What weapons are they using? If they can aim pretty well and they have hit scan weapons, well, it's hard to avoid taking any damage. And yeah, it brings a certain amount of inconsistency to the weapon, and inconsistency is not really a good thing. Is it if one asks, is it the worst primary? Well, one could argue that I think maybe that's maybe worse, because the Freeze Blaster, if you manage to get used to it, it does certainly have some multiple upsides, and it does, after all, you do get to move pretty fast. One could argue a bit about the short stop. Short stop is hard weapon to really judge, because it's different from the other primaries. All the Scatterton are primary method, be really close to the enemy, and then they drop off. Some of them drop off more quickly than others. While the short stop not quite as powerful when you're straight up in the face, but it doesn't lose its damage dealing capability quite as fast range, so it's more useful for a mid-range fighting. It does have the practically useless shove ability, but it's hard to judge whether it's good or bad or balanced. It's hard to say. But yeah, this is also about the worst loadout, so that's why we have the Babyface's plaster here, because our secondary. Let's get to the secondary. Well, the Winger, this amazing pistol, in exchange for a greatly reduced clip size. You have nearly, what is it? Yeah. As you can see, there's not that many shots, and it's 5 shots I think, and yeah, that's a very, very small clip size, especially for something that's fires as fast as pistol and does as little damage. The Winger, however, does a little bit more damage. Actually, if you look at the percentage, it may look even more impressive than it truly is, because, well, due to the clip size, the damage boost is pretty negligible. You know the word, it's not really big. And but really the main reason why you're using Winger is for its other ability. It allows you to jump higher. As you saw in the previous clip, I did use it to do one jump consistently. I think if you do it properly, it will be possible to do that jump in a single jump even without using Winger, but the Winger certainly makes it much easier. But really, the Winger, to get the most use of it, you really want to double jump, because you get the extra first jump and extra height from the second jump. So with the extra height, you can get to places. But with the Babyface's plaster, you really don't want to jump quite as much. You may want to jump a little bit more than I do, but it's still just single jumps you want to do. And save double jumps for when they are really necessary, when you really have to. You can still do double jumps if you don't have any boost, or if you're confident that you can build up your boost after, but yeah, we're not going to get the most use of our secondary. And other secondary options, well, they would all provide benefits, whether it's dealing damage at range to help build up her boost, or in case of bonk, you can use it to avoid taking damage while running past dangerous areas. Have the Mad Milk. Well, Mad Milk is always a nice thing to have. All in all, together with Babyface's Blaster, the Winger is not a good option, really. And speaking of, but yeah, if we are going to talk about what's not a good option, let's look at our melee weapon. Well, the amazing Atomizer. It's a pretty good weapon. Most of the time, it deals less damage than the stock, but not that much. I think it attacks slower as well, but that much noticeable. But it allows you to, first of all, taunt kill. So if you find an unsuspecting sniper, you can easily taunt kill him with it. Yay! But the main thing is it gives you a triple jump. Third jump, it does cost 10 health to use. But if sometimes taking 10 extra health to get somewhere you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to, that's a good thing. Or to avoid taking a rocket to the face, also a good thing, because rocket to the face tends to do more than 10 damage. So all in all, Atomizer, pretty good weapon. But we are using the Babyface's Blaster, so yeah, and while we can get some regrettable, because this is not the worst loadout, use of the extra jump height of the Winger, the third jump of the Atomizer, that's not really going to come up very often. You can, just like the Winger, you can use it if you don't have any boost. Well, then making that third jump it won't drain your boost if you don't have any, but if you have boost, then you need to think more about it, and it's not really an ideal weapon to get used together with the Babyface's Blaster. It's going to basically sit and maybe occasionally be used like stock bat, but that's pretty much it. That's not a weapon. So yeah, these weapons, they don't really work that well together. They're all good in their own right. Well, the Blaster does have its consistency issues, but all in all, it's the way they work together that really makes this the worst scout loadout. And my poor performance here that you can sometimes see comes more from my own ineptitude than the poorness of the weapons. But really, if you're going to use the Winger and Atomizer, you really don't want to use Blaster as your primary. And if you want to use the Blaster as primary, you want to use other secondaries and melee options, because they will actually help you more than this. With the others, you will actually get the full benefit of them, instead of here when you barely get any benefit at all, you will mostly get the downsides of them. Yeah, mixing a weapon that wants you to stay relatively grounded with weapons that wants you to jump a lot, that's not really a great mix, but it can work if you're a good scout, you know what you are doing, you can still get some use of it. Well, as you can see, I'm not a good scout, but nothing too terrible. At least I could be doing worse. So that's pretty much it for this video. Do you have any comments about this loadout? Have other suggestions about bad scout loadouts? Well, leave a comment. If you like this video enough to press the like button, it would be appreciated. And well, if you want to see more, you can always subscribe. But this is going to be pretty much all for this video, and I hope I'll see you next time. And as I said, you're not faster than a speeding bullet. Sentries will kill you. Goodbye.